What do you think happens after you die?
Like a white room that's just like forever white, and it's just like your like consciousness, like a orb. It's just you just like floating around.
After you die, um, you go to a spiritual realm, and it's called the Barzakh, and the spirits stay there.
You become your soul or whatever when you die. You kind of progress through time like instantly, and then you get, kind of transported in a way to Judgment Day.
A lot of people I know are very much into the idea of like digital immortality, where people, you kind of get your mind gets digitized, and then you exist on a computer essentially.
Honestly, we'd probably just get reincarnated, I think. If that counts as an afterlife, like, I think we'd decompose. I'd turn into a mushroom, and then I'd come back as something else, maybe.
Again, kind of a tough question for me. I'm in the middle of a spiritual crisis at the moment.
If you believe in heaven and hell, what do you think they look like?
So, hell is like the hottest place you can ever be. So, it's like made of fire. And yeah, there are punishments that you will face in hell.
Hell scares me. Like, that's the last place I want to be. And, just like thinking about it, it's just like, like that's where, all the pain and that's where all the bad people go. So, you have to, that's where God punishes people, And so I'd imagine it being, hellfire and just like, just like bad things. I just want to stay away from there as much as possible. And hopefully I lived a good life where I just, where I could deserve his mercy. And
Hell is just fire and brimstone, and heaven is eternal bliss. But I like to think that there's more of a gray area, and that making a few mistakes in my life won't send me to damnation forever.
What do you think the afterlife is like?
I think we just rot and decompose, and that's it.
I don't think there's anything. I think people kind of degrade like how a tree would.
If afterlife is like black nothingness, like you won't know one way or the other whether you like it or not because you don't have feelings.
I'd like to think that it's not just eternal darkness.
Are you afraid of dying?
Yes, I think it's just a strange thing to think about when you're alive and like that kind of thing, because like you literally are leaving like everything that you once knew, and that's just kind of uncomfortable to me to think about.
I was dead for a very long time before I was alive, so I'm not particularly afraid of dying. I don't want to die, but I'm not afraid of it.
I'm not afraid of dying necessarily, because I know that I will be in heaven with God, and that's something I'm excited about.
Is there a God or a higher power?
Oh yeah, I definitely believe in God. Just because I believe that like there has to be someone who created this universe, and it cannot come from nothing. Something from nothing cannot happen.
There's some things in the world I feel like that can't be explained by modern science.
Things that I've experienced in my life, and a lot of relationships that I've built have led me to believe that that life is meant to be lived for a God.
so I study computer science, and in computer science, there's like a very intimate relationship between a program and a programmer. You know what I mean? And so I kind of just like apply that to the world and just looking at like all the beauty and like the complexity of the universe. All living beings have like DNA inside them, and my father, makes the case that that DNA is sort of like a program, and a program needs a programmer to, design all those things. And looking at the complexities of the universe and stuff like that, I just find it hard to reject the notion that, it's all spontaneous. I think heaven is a place where kind of like maybe, hopefully, it's like the way the world looked like in Adam and Eve's time before, what happened. Just like, just beauty and harmony and just peace. And then just you're with your loved ones, your friends, and your family, and with God, and, whatever. Doesn't matter like your race, your creed, or just like your size, what you look like, or all the worldly things just disappear.
Whereas heaven, on the contrary, is like described as a very beautiful place with rivers of wine and like good stuff, and you will be like, there won't be any sadness, there will only be happiness.
Do you want there to be an afterlife?
I think the most important thing for me is that I'm with God because I have a personal relationship with Him, and I just want to be wherever He is.
I think I'm more afraid of not living the life that I wanted to live before I die.
I think the joy of life is the fact that we will die someday.